on how we can manage the payments that we are paying to our suppliers on behalf of our credit purchases. So in this video we will have a detailed session on how we can record our purchases and how we can record our payments and manage the statement for the supplier and all those things. To introduce with, first we have one video in detail for the purchase entry, so you can see how the purchases are happening in our Infogate accounting software. For sample entries and to manage our payments and the statement for the supplier, we will now enter one sample purchase and then introduce the payment voucher. So we can go to the purchase window. This is our purchase window. We will open this window now. This is how the purchase window is coming, and there you can enter your purchases from your suppliers, either it is local or foreign, on behalf of your record. We will select this date first, December or any other date, and then we will select the bill type as cash or credit. We are now focusing on the credit purchases for the payment voucher and statement follow. Now we will enter one credit purchase as a sample. Here we will enter the invoice number from the supplier. Here we can choose the supplier. We have one sample supplier here. This supplier detail is actually coming from the master, supplier master. In this menu, you will get a window and you can create all your suppliers account here to keep your creditors account. When you create one supplier, automatically its creditor account will be listed in the chart of account along with the saving of the supplier account. Automatically one ledger account will be open. Whenever we are creating the supplier account, fill all the details needed and then tick this option, fill pending records in supplier payment. So like this, we have created one supplier here, and then we have chosen that supplier over here for our sample purchase entry. Then start choosing the items from the bills that we have with us, the paper from the supplier. Time being, I will choose one sample item, and you can enter the quantity and you can enter the rate, for example 1000 riyal or any amount, and then enter the item to the list. Like this, repeat for all items from the supplier's bill, and the total for the supplier's invoice will be matched here. And from once it is okay, then you can save the purchase. You can save the purchase over here. Now this is a purchase that we are demonstrating on date of December 10, and we are going to save this. Now we have one supplier purchase saved inside our system. Whenever we start saving our purchases, automatically the stock will be increased and the reports for the purchases will be started working. Now we have a credit purchase. We can access the credit purchases, the register here, and the total purchases register here. Like this, we have separate purchase reports. Now our focus is on how to manage the statement of account for the supplier and the bill, the payment that we are generating to our suppliers. Now we can see how the statement of account for the supplier can be generated. We will open this window, this facility, and then we will choose the supplier and then choose the period of statement. For time being, we will choose from December 1st to December 31st. Any period you can choose. Then print it. You will get the statement for the supplier, chosen supplier. Okay, this is the statement default format for the supplier. The date of the vouchers are coming. The voucher number is listed, and the type of the voucher and the narration for the voucher is listed, and the amounts. There is one previous bill for December 10 that I had tested, and there's one more bill that we have generated now. So the total closing balance for the supplier is 2415 riyal. So this can be formatted according to the idea, letterhead and details for the our customers. Anyway, this is how the printed statement for the supplier. You can preview the same. It will be coming as a window, and you can double click on the voucher if needed further details checkup. You can double click on the voucher and the voucher will be open. It will be easy for the accountants to verify the vouchers. Anyway, this is how the statement is working for the supplier. Now we can see in detail how we can pay according to these bills. We will move to the accounts section, and there is supplier payment. There is one specific voucher for the supplier payment. We will open this voucher. You will get the window. The working of the supplier payment is the same as the customer receipt. Then we have one detailed video earlier in our channel. The same way we can create the supplier payment also. Let's see how we can generate one payment voucher. The document number is automatic and the date is automatic. Date you can choose when you are paying. For example, the voucher we have generated is by December 10. Now we are generating the payment for that against that voucher on 16 December. Okay. Now we can choose the supplier over here for whom we are paying. Time being the sample supplier. When you choose the sample supplier, automatically the pending vouchers for the sample supplier will be loaded here. This facility, this auto loading is coming from the master, supplier master, by ticking this option. Okay, if you have tick that option, this will be loaded automatically over here. Anyways, there are two vouchers here for this supplier. Let's see how we can close one single voucher. We can choose this option invoice wise and then start choosing the invoices that we are closing for the supplier. We will choose like this, then automatically the total is coming, and if you are choosing this also, the total will be generated. In time being, we will choose only this, and then we can choose the payment mode that we are paying. When it is transferred, it will automatically reflect into the bank account in the chart, and when it is check, will be the same. When it's cash, it will be reflected to the cash account. It will be credited from the cash account in the chart. Anyway, now this is how we will fill all the details for the vouchers, the payment voucher, and then we can narrate over here supplier payment like this, whatever it is, PV number, any voucher number you need to enter, we can record over here. The same can be entered over here also. Like this, you can fill all the details for the payment voucher and then save it. And one voucher is now closed without payment. Now see, the voucher is closed without payment. Now again we will go back to the statement of account for the supplier. We will open this one, sample supplier, and then we will check the statement for 1 month whether the payment is recorded there. See, the payment is recorded there now against this voucher. This is the credit, this debit against this supplier. So the balance is now 2,300 Riyal. Now let's see how we can partially generate one payment voucher against invoices. Again, we will move to the payment voucher. We will choose the date of payment, 17th or something, and then we will choose the supplier, again sample supplier, and then we will choose the invoice wise. These are the same steps, and then we will start choosing the voucher. So the total is automatically reflecting here, but we are just paying only 1,000 Riyal from this voucher. So what we will do, we will double click on this voucher and the payment will be reflected here. So we will change it to 1,000 Riyal and then narrate it partial, whatever you need to narrate against that invoice. We will narrate over here and then refresh. So the pending amount is 2,300 and the paid amount is 1,000 Riyal and the balance is 1,300 Riyal. And then as usual, we will narrate it. PVNO, whatever we need, we will narrate. Like this, whatever we need, we will narrate, and then we can save. If it is cash or bank, you can choose that payment mode and then you can save the voucher. So we have another voucher for the supplier. And once again we will select the sample supplier here for a. Now see, when we select the sample supplier, the pending balance only is reflected now. 1000 real is now deducted from this voucher. Only the balance of this voucher is reflected now. Like this we can partially close the invoice also. So when we go to the statement of account, we will have the partial voucher that we have generated now listed over there. See this one? This is the partial voucher that we have generated over there, and the balance is now 1300 real. Like this you can manage your suppliers and statement for the suppliers, purchases, and the payment against the purchases. There is one more option, two more options here. I will show you. Sometimes the purchases will happen frequently in monthly basis. For example, there will be 10 or 20 or 30 purchases from one single supplier monthly itself. They will ask for the closing of invoices for monthly basis. For example, just close the invoices for one particular month or one particular period. So what we can do, when we have this kind of vouchers here, too much vouchers here, and we want to close one particular month voucher or period of vouchers, then what we can do, we can choose this pending amount between period option. For example, I will choose the supplier now. If this supplier had loads of purchase or pending vouchers here, and particularly from 1 month, from December 1st to December 31st, then what we can do, we can choose this option and choose from December 1 to December 31st. When we choose this period and press OK, all the vouchers of this chosen period will be selected and the total will be displayed here. Then we can close all the vouchers of one chosen period and then close in one single voucher. It's an easy process for the big companies that they will handle the purchases in monthly basis or periodic basis closing actually. Anyway, this is one other facility in there, and there is one more facility to get the advances to tackle the advances for the suppliers that we are paying. For that we can open one voucher for the payment and the mode of payment as we know, and choose this option advance and then total amount for the advance. For example, 10,000 or something for the supplier sample advance 10,000 riyal in cash or by transfer or anything by 18th of December. We are paying by 18th of December to the sample supplier, and we can narrate that supplier payment advance and all those details we can narrate and then save it. Now this is the advance voucher, payment voucher against the sample supplier. So after the advance voucher generated, the purchase against the material will be received against the purchase, and then we will record the purchase from the supplier. So for example, by 18th of December from the sample supplier we have a bill of this number, and this is the item and the 10 quantity, and the amount is 500 riyal per each, and we will add it. Now 5,750 is the amount for the purchase, and let's make it as a credit bill against that advance voucher if the credit if it is a purchase that happening. So let's make it as a credit bill, and see now the payment number is generated. Now see the cash or credit, now the payment number is activated when it is credit. Okay, when we click this, there is the balance the advance voucher listed there against that supplier. So we can choose the advance voucher against this bill from the supplier, so automatically from that balance it will be deducted and will be generated as a voucher for the payment, and press OK, and the payment voucher number is listed here, and the total received from that advance voucher is listed there, and we can save this purchase. Like this, you can easily manage your advances and purchases against the advance. You can tackle easily. So this is how we can generate the purchases and manage the statements from the supplier and record the payments for the supplier. Hopefully, I hope you had got the whole idea. If anything further needed, you can contact us for the further clarification, anything needed. So this is how we can manage all these details for the purchases, payment vouchers, and supplier statements. Thank you for watching.